few days ago, I brought you the story of Pirates of the Caribbean, the Curse of the Black Pearl. And today, I'm back with the next thrilling chapter, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. And I promise you, this one is even better than the last. The story begins exactly where we left off. On the day Will Turner and Elizabeth Swan were supposed to get married, Lord Cutler Beckett, chairman of the East India Trading Company, suddenly arrives. He has both Will and Elizabeth arrested for aiding Jack Sparrow's escape. Even James Norrington, the former officer, was issued a warrant for dereliction of duty. But James saw it coming. He abandoned everything and dove into the sea, leaving behind his rank to chase after Jack Sparrow. Will and Elizabeth are sentenced to death. But the very next day, Lord Beckett calls Will to his office and offers him a deal. He says Jack Sparrow owns a unique compass, one that doesn't point north. If Will can bring it back, both he and Elizabeth will be pardoned. Will says goodbye to Elizabeth and sets off to find Jack. Meanwhile, Jack Sparrow returns from a mysterious island holding a torn piece of cloth with a drawing of a key. He tells his crew that the key opens a chest, one that contains something incredibly valuable. But from the way Jack talks, it's clear he's hiding something. He knows more about that key in the chest than he's letting on. That night, Jack stares at his compass, but it doesn't seem to work properly. He goes below deck to grab some rum, and that's when he's confronted by someone unexpected. Bootstrap Bill Turner. Yes, Will's father, who's somehow still alive after all these years. He used to serve under Jack back when he was captain of the Black Pearl. Bootstrap reveals the truth. The Pearl had sunk long ago, and to raise it again, Jack made a deal with the fearsome sea demon, Davy Jones. Jones brought the Pearl back to life, but in return, Jack agreed to serve as its captain for 13 years. And now, those 13 years are over. Jack must now join Davy Jones's cursed crew. If he refuses, Jones will unleash the Kraken, a monstrous beast capable of dragging entire ships to the bottom of the ocean. Bootstrap himself chose to serve under Jones just to survive. He marks Jack with a black spot, a curse that allows Davy Jones to track him anywhere. Jack, now terrified, tells his crew to change course immediately. But before they can act, Barbassa's mischievous monkey steals Jack's hat and tosses it into the sea. That hat floats away until it reaches a small fishing boat. One of the fishermen picks it up and puts it on. But almost instantly, Davy Jones's Kraken rises from the deep and destroys the boat without mercy. Back in Port Royal, Elizabeth's father helps her escape in secret. She finally finds a way out and sets off to find Will. On the other side, Will travels far and wide, asking questions and following clues, until he finally locates the Black Pearl, docked near a strange island. Jack is hiding there, afraid to stay out at sea where the Kraken might find him. As Will explores the island, he's suddenly captured by a tribe of cannibals. They take him to their village, and to his shock, he finds Jack sitting on a throne, posing as their king. Will tells him, "I came to get your compass. Elizabeth is going to be hanged for helping you. If you want to save her, please, give it to me." But Jack, speaking in the tribe's native tongue, says something mysterious to the cannibals. Moments later, they lock Will inside a cage, where he discovers that some of Jack's old crewmates are already imprisoned. They tell him the tribe believes Jack holds a sacred spirit inside him, and the only way to set it free is to kill him. So now, Jack's in more danger than anyone else. As the tribe prepares to cook and eat Jack as part of their ritual, one of the tribal guards suddenly yells that the prisoners are trying to escape. Everyone rushes off to catch them, and in the chaos, Jack manages to slip away too. Through a series of clumsy comedic stunts, the entire crew reunites and escapes back to the Black Pearl, sailing away from the island just in time. On board, Jack explains the truth. Lord Cutler Beckett didn't just want the compass. He was really after a legendary treasure, but before they can find it, they'll need the key, and for that, they must visit Tia Dalma. Soon they arrive at the swampy home of Tia Dalma, a mysterious witch who once crafted Jack's magical compass. This compass doesn't point north. It points to whatever the holder wants most, but maybe Jack doesn't really want the key deep down, and that's why the compass won't show him the way. Tia Dalma reveals a shocking truth. The chest they're looking for isn't just any treasure chest. It contains the beating heart of Davy Jones himself. Davy Jones, once a man, now the dark ruler of the seas, commanded not from land, but from the ocean, and the only key to the chest is in the possession of Davy Jones. Tia Dalma gives Jack a jar filled with dirt. She tells him Davy Jones cannot set foot on land. As long as he has this dirt with him, Jack will be safe. Then she reveals the location of the Flying Dutchman, Davy Jones's ghost ship. They set sail and soon reach the site. But at first glance, Will assumes the shipwreck is broken and abandoned. Still, he's determined. "I'll go in and find the key myself," he says. Jack tells him, "If you get caught, just say I sent you to settle my debt." Will boards the wreck, but suddenly, the real Flying Dutchman rises from beneath the ocean, an eerie, rotting ship with monstrous sea creatures as its crew. They capture Will and bring him before the legendary Davy Jones. He's no longer human. His face is a terrifying fusion of octopus, crab, and man. But he speaks just like one. Will tells him, "Jack Sparrow sent me to pay off his debt." Davy Jones peers through his telescope, aiming it at the Black Pearl, and there he sees Jack staring right back at him. In the blink of an eye, Davy Jones appears on Jack's ship, the Black Pearl, revealing that he possesses strange teleportation-like powers. He turns to Jack and says, "Your 13-year deal ends today. Now you belong to me." Jack replies, "But I'm worth more than you think." Jones smirks. "Oh, I know. You already gave me Will, but your debt is equal to 100 souls. So now, bring me 99 more." Jack agrees. Davy Jones wipes the black spot off Jack's hand, removing the Kraken's tracker. But he warns, "You have 3 days. Bring me 99 souls, or your freedom is gone." Jack, in his usual crafty way, sails to an island and begins tricking innocent people into joining his crew, just to sell them off to Davy Jones. But his plan fails miserably. He only manages to trap 4. Meanwhile, James Norrington, now a fallen and disgraced officer, is also on the island. He's come specifically to capture Jack Sparrow. The moment he spots Jack, he aims his pistol at him, but Jack's crew jumps in and rescues him just in time. Jack escapes and boards his ship, when suddenly, Elizabeth appears. She's been living on the island under a false identity. She demands, "Will came looking for you. Where is he now?" Jack reveals, "He's on the Dutchman, with Davy Jones. If you want to save him, you'll need to find the chest that holds Davy Jones's heart." So, using his wits, Jack pulls out the compass. It points to whatever the heart desires most. And right now, for Elizabeth, nothing matters more than finding Will. Jack hands her the compass. The compass now shows a clear direction, leading them to the dead man's chest. Elizabeth, Jack, James, and the rest of the crew set sail on their new quest. Meanwhile, aboard the Flying Dutchman, Will finally reunites with his father, Bootstrap Bill, and learns the painful truth. His father is still bound to serve Davy Jones. Will says, "I've come for the key that opens the chest, the one that holds Davy Jones's heart." Bootstrap says, "I don't know anything about it." But at that very moment, a strange sea creature from the wall speaks up. Davy Jones keeps the key around his neck, always. They head off to the other side of the ship. Will watches as the crew of the Flying Dutchman gathers around a strange game, one where they gamble away the remaining years of their lives. Will steps forward and says, "I want to join the game, but I want Davy Jones himself as my opponent." Moments later, Davy Jones appears. He eyes Will and asks, "What do you offer as your wager?" Will replies, "My life, every single year of it. In exchange, you put your key on the line." Davy Jones pauses, silent and calculating. Then, without a word, he reaches for the chain around his neck and removes the key. The game begins. Will's father, Bootstrap Bill, joins the game too. But when he sees Will is about to lose, he secretly changes the dice. Davy Jones notices. He picks up the dice, checks them, and coldly says, "You cheated." As punishment, he condemns Bootstrap to an eternity aboard the Flying Dutchman, never to be freed. Jones walks away, but now Will knows exactly where the key is. Later that night, Bootstrap tells Will, "Now that you know where it is, I'll distract the others." While they're busy, sneak in and steal the key from Davy Jones while he sleeps. Will does just that. He slips into Jones's quarters, steals the key from around his neck, and runs. The next morning, Jones discovers the key is missing. In its place, there's only a scrap of cloth with a drawing of the key. Furious, he commands his crew to set sail immediately, toward the place where his heart is hidden. Meanwhile, Jack and Elizabeth have already reached the island. They dig into the ground and unearth a wooden chest, the dead man's chest. Inside, it lies the heart of Davy Jones. Will arrives just as Jack and James also converge on the chest, and what follows is chaos. All 3 men want the heart, each for a different reason. James wants to deliver it to Lord Beckett and reclaim his honor and his former life. Will wants to use it to free his father from servitude. And Jack wants to strike a new deal with Davy Jones so he can be free to sail the seas forever. A sword fight erupts among the three, intense, acrobatic, and relentless. The battle leads them into an old church where the bell begins to ring loudly. Hearing the sound, Jones's crew races toward the scene. Elizabeth and the others grab the chest and try to flee, but as they run through the forest, they crash into a tree and drop the chest. One of Jones's crew members grabs it and bolts. Jack spots him, tackles him to the ground, and grabs the chest. He opens it, pulls out the heart, and seals it inside a jar. But just then, another one of Jones's men attacks him from behind. Jack fights back fiercely, but soon, more of them arrive and surround them. James shouts, "As long as we have the chest, they'll never stop coming for us. Don't worry about me. I'll run with the chest and draw them all away. The rest of you, get out of here." He grabs the chest and takes off running. Dozens of monstrous crew members chase after him. But just when they catch up and surround him, James throws the chest to them and escapes with his life. Meanwhile, Jack, Will, and the others rush back to the Black Pearl. But it's not over yet. Rising from the depths, the Flying Dutchman emerges again, chasing them across the open sea. But since the Black Pearl was the fastest ship on the seas, it easily outruns the Flying Dutchman. Will says, "If we can outrun them, maybe we can fight them too." But Jack shakes his head. "We have the heart, it's in a jar. Instead of fighting, maybe we can make a deal." But then the truth becomes clear. The heart isn't in the chest anymore. It's already been taken by Davy Jones's crew. And just as they're talking, a massive jolt shakes the ship. The jar smashes to the floor. Jack rushes in, but the heart is gone. Will shouts, "It's the Kraken!" Davy Jones has sent it to destroy us. The monstrous sea beast launches wave after wave of attacks, trying to pull the Black Pearl beneath the waves. In the chaos, Jack takes off in a small rowboat, escaping alone. Meanwhile, the crew gathers barrels of rum and gunpowder and stuffs them inside a massive container. Their plan? Blow it up at just the right moment and hit the Kraken hard. But the Kraken doesn't stop. It attacks again, this time wrapping its deadly tentacles around the pearl, dragging it into the depths. And then, suddenly, Jack Sparrow returns. He climbs back aboard and fires an arrow straight into the barrel of gunpowder. A massive explosion erupts. The Kraken screeches in agony, badly burned and wounded. Jack turns to his crew. "Everyone, get out now! It'll come back, and next time, we finish this." Elizabeth walks over to Jack and thanks him, but suddenly she shackles his hand to the mast. Because she knows, the black spot has returned to Jack's hand. The Kraken isn't after them, it's after him. As the crew escapes, the Kraken rises once more, towering above the ship. But this time, Jack doesn't run. He draws his sword and dives straight into the beast's open mouth, disappearing into the deep along with his beloved Black Pearl. From afar, Davy Jones watches everything unfold. He sails to where the chest was hidden, opens it, and finds it completely empty. He screams in rage and heartbreak. Back in Port Royal, James Norrington arrives at Lord Cutler Beckett's office and hands over the real heart of Davy Jones. He says, "Now, you can control him. He'll do whatever you command." In return, James regains his honor and his old position. Elsewhere, Elizabeth, Will, and the rest of Jack's friends gather at Tia Dalma's hut. Grief weighs heavy on all of them. No one can believe Jack is gone. They say, "If there's even a small chance to bring back our captain," Tia Dalma looks at them and asks, "Are you willing to travel to the ends of the earth?" All of them, without hesitation, answer, "Yes." And at that moment, someone walks in. Barbassa. Yes, Captain Barbassa is still alive. With an apple in hand, he steps forward and asks, "So, where is my ship?" And just like that, the story comes to a close. But wait, there's more. In the post-credit scene, we return to the island of the cannibals, the ones who once held Jack and his crew captive. Now, they've captured a dog, and they've made him their king. It seems they're preparing to offer his soul to the spirits too. So, clearly the next chapter will be a battle to bring Jack back from the dead. And if this part was exciting, the next one is going to be even better. That's it for today's episode. Let me know in the comments how you liked the story. If you want part 3, I'll be back soon with the next chapter. Until then, take care. Goodbye.